this is a slope card, and I'll put it in front of here so you can see what they look like. They're used to give you an idea of how steep a slope is by looking at the distances between the contour lines on a map. As you may know, contour lines are printed on maps at regular vertical intervals, and this could be every 5 meters, 10 meters, 20 meters, or it can be in feet, 40 feet, 80 feet, whatever. And because of this, you can see how steep a slope is by just looking at a map. I'll show you how this works. Let me find something. This will do. So these are the notepads that we give out to our participants on our courses, on our navigation courses, because they're waterproof. So let's find a blank page. So here we go. If you can see on this screen, hopefully on this camera here, you can see this is covered in lines, and all the lines are the same distance apart. But if you tilt it up, the lines, when viewed from directly above, are closer together. And when it's flat, they're further apart. So by looking at the distance between the lines, when you look at a map, look at the contour lines, you can actually tell how steep that slope is. And that, you know, for planning a route, that's actually quite useful, because it could tell you how long it'll take you to ascend or descend a slope. It could tell you if there's a risk of avalanche, or if you need any specialist equipment, if it's going to be quite steep. Slope cards are included in the box with some compasses. As an example, this one came with the, I don't know which one it was, a silver compass that I bought. I forget which brand it was. Other compasses actually have, this is a standard, what is this, a Sunto MC2G. That's actually got a slope card printed on side of the mirror housing, the little box at the top. Hopefully you can see that. So that's basically a slope card. Now, to use a slope card, I'll show you how you do it. Let's see. So here we've got a standard map, and it's the bit to the right of Fort William in Scotland, if you want to have a look at this map online. So let's say that we're, I don't know, we're here. We've come down this road. It's a very famous road, this, because there's a big square car park at the end of it, just by the waterfall. Well, it's not really a waterfall, it's more of a water slide. Just before you go into the gully towards the very big waterfall. Right, so let's have a look. So this area here, so there's the car park. You can see this on the map, hopefully. Let's say that we want to walk up the slope that's on the opposite side of this car park here. So we want to walk up this slope here somehow, you know. Now, which bit would we take? We can use our slope card to see. Let's have a look. So what you do is you actually work on every 5 contour lines. You don't work on individual contour lines or 2s. Always try and go for 5. The reason for that is normally contour lines are so close together in mountainous areas that it'd be very difficult to use a slope card with them. So always try and go for 5 contour lines apart. Most maps in the world, every 5th contour line is slightly thicker. As an example, this is a standard Ordnance Survey 1 to 25,000 map, and the index contour lines, that's these ones here, hopefully you can see that, they're slightly thicker. This 1 to 25 maps in the UK, standard Ordnance Survey, if they're in flat country, they tend to be, the contour lines are every 5 meters apart. If they're in mountainous country, they're every 10 meters apart. Just because, you know, the maps would be too busy. There'd be too much on them if they're every 5 meters. So I know that each one of these contour lines is 10 meters apart. So each one of the index contour lines, the thick ones, are 50 meters apart. So all I need to do, so I want to come across from the car park and then walk straight up the slope for some strange reason. So there's my slope. So all I do is I just use the card to find which bit of the card so fits between. So if you look at this one here, that's that there. I'll get a pencil so you can not put my big ugly finger all over it. So there you can actually see the index line, index contour line is there, and the next index line is there. So this slope here is 10 degrees. Okay, now if we move, let's say we decide not to go up that, we want to go up something slightly steeper, so we want to go up that section there. And that section there, if you look, is much steeper because the two black lines at the edge of the slope card are actually touching the contour line, and that's 15 degrees. Okay, so you can actually use slope cards, you know, when you're planning a route. That's the main idea of them. The biggest problem you've got is that most compasses don't come with a slope card, and you can buy one on Amazon for, I don't know, £2 or something. But how do you know if they're accurate? And remember, you're planning a route up sort of in this area. That's quite an extreme area with lots of stuff in it. So you need to know that it's accurate. So what I've done is I've actually created an Excel spreadsheet. For the simple reason is I've got lots of these things, but I keep losing them. And it's a bit of a pain to have to keep going out and buying them. So I just print my own. This is one that I printed earlier. It's laminated. So instead of taking out something like this one here, I would just print off. I can, you know, on an A4 sheet, I can print off 10 of these and sort of hand them out to people. But they're very easy to do. Now, as I said, the main thing to remember is that you line up the 5th contour lines. Don't go for individual ones or two. So what I'll do is I'll put my Excel spreadsheet onto the screen. It's a free download, so you can download it if you want to. You don't have to put your name or your email or your grandmother's maiden name, or you know, they always want you to create an account. Just click on the link and download it. I'll bring it up onto the screen and I'll show you how it works. Just one very important thing before you rush to the comment section on this video and click the link to download it. Please remember just one important thing. You don't know me. Well, some of you do. The people who've participated in my land navigation courses, you know me. But for the vast majority of people around the world who watch my videos, I'm just a face and a voice on social media. And what I'm saying now today, and I realize it's quite strange, I'm saying that I've written some computer code which I understand that most people watching this won't understand that code. How do you know that that code that I've written won't send your bank login details to me, your full credit card information, or maybe all those strange photographs that you've stored on your hard drive, and anything else it can find? Exactly, you don't know me. So keep that in mind. I'll put the Excel spreadsheet on the screen, and I will also show you the code behind it. Then if you understand Excel formulas and Visual Basic, then you'll be able to see exactly what it does. Even then, if you do download it, I would still test it before you click to open it with Norton or McAfee or Windows Defender or some other virus protection before you open it. It's just, you know what I'm talking about. It's good practice before you open any file that you've downloaded from the internet. Oh, and just one important thing. This is really important. The only place that I will place this Excel spreadsheet and all the associated codes with it that make it run is on my website, mapreading.co.uk. If you download it from anywhere else, well, my suggestion is just don't. So I'll show you exactly how it works, and we'll get to it. So let's click it, and hopefully it'll open. Oh, security. I've even got my own security warning. So I'm going to enable content because I trust myself. I don't know if anybody else does. Who knows? You know, anyway, let's have a look. So I've made it as simple as I possibly can. It's just a button and a box, a yellow box. That's it. You know, the reason for that is that most people in the world use the same type of maps. 1 to 25, 1 to 24, or 1 to 50,000 scale. You know, that's it. So all you do is this, watch. click on the yellow box and a drop down will appear next to it. Click the drop down and there's some standard maps. You've got Ordnance Survey, Explorer, Land Ranger, whichever one you, let's say I want to click on the first one, Ordnance Survey, Explorer maps. Click it and there's your route card. It's really, really simple. Let's say you want to do, I don't know, the 1 inch to the mile, what's that, 60-3360 scale. And there it is. So it's you can select any map that you want. 15 minutes. The American, what do the Americans use 1:24, don't they? Which is, it tends to be that one. And then all you do is press print. I've coded this, so normally when you print an Excel sheet, you print the entire sheet and it just looks a mess. So what I've done is I've coded this so that it will only print the actual card itself. That's it. And then all you'll do is you can just print it off, and if you want to use it at home, cut the paper down so you're on the left hand side, so the little black lines are right at the edge of the paper. Or if you want to take it out into the hills, you can laminate it like this and just, that's what I do, because I lose that many of these purpose-made ones. I just make my own. And I'll show you later on, by the way, my lines are to the fraction of a millimeter, exactly the same as the ones that you can buy. And unlike a lot of them that you can buy on Amazon, my lines are accurate. Now, let's have a look. So let's close. So all you do is press print and then close it. Now, let's say that your map, let's say that you live in a country that doesn't have Ordnance Survey maps, and you don't have American maps, USGS, United States Geographical Service, Geological Service. Somebody in the comments, can you tell me what that means? And you're not in the military, and you're not using 1 inch to the mile. So what you can do is this. You can press show, and it tells you what to do there. Now, let's say that your map isn't there, or you're never going to be interested in the military map. So to get rid of one of those lists, just literally right-click it, and then go to where it says table, and then, oh sorry, no you don't. You right-click it, then go to delete, table row, and click delete. And the military one has disappeared. So let's say that you live in a country that isn't, you don't have those maps, and you want to add your own map. So I've prepared some on this. So let's have a look. We've got a Harvey. I'll just copy these across. So all you do is go to the next line, at the bottom of the table, and I've now put in Harvey, which is 1 to 40,000. That's a UK map. The IGN France map, which has got 10 meters, and also the Swiss topo. So now when you click on the list, they're actually there, as you can see. So if I lived in Switzerland, that would be my, so now if I lived in Switzerland, that would be it. That would be my route card. I've made this as simple as I possibly can. Let's have a look. Let's just get rid of this. So now, if you want to see, I did promise I'd show you how this works. So let's have a look. All you do is, if you look, it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, and then it goes to M. So the columns. So there's obviously something in there that's missing. So all you do is select the F and the M column, right click and click unhide. And that's it. Now, what happens now is when you put in, as an example, OSX, it's this column here. All the G, H, and I are basically these ones, as you can see from this bit at the top here. Let's get off that. That simply takes the information. So the G takes the information from the O column, depending on which map you select in the list. Yeah, it's really simple. The contour in the H column takes it from the P column, once again, depending on which one you select. And that's how it works. The units are the same as a contour for this, but the meters, and some countries use meters, some countries use feet. So that is actually included in this bit. Now this, let's have a look at this. I'll just explain what these are. So this one here, this function here, let's get off that. So there's a function at the top that you can see, and all that does is that tells this section here the height of the row. So as an example, 60.75. And if you look at this, by the way, just as a quick thing, maps either use feet and inches or centimeters and meters. Excel doesn't. Excel uses points. So that is what that section of the formula is there. That converts it into, from feet and inches, depending on what's in this column, into points, or centimeters and meters into points. And all it does, this one here, is it tells this section here, this function here, basically sets the height of the row. And it's got a top and a bottom border. Really, really simple. This bit here, the L section, I didn't need to put this in, I just thought you might be interested. If you're walking up 100 meters, let's have a look, say at 5 degrees. Over 100 meters, you will walk an extra 0.4 meter. Yeah, it's simple as that. So that's included in this section here. If you're, let's have a look, say you're working on a map which uses uses feet, then for every 100 feet, if you're walking up a 40-degree slope, you will walk an extra 30.5 feet. Yeah, it's that's what this one does. It just uses cosines and radians to make it all work. Now, the code itself, the easiest way to do it is to press Alt and F11, and you get that. But let's say that doesn't work you might be using a different type of keyboard. All you do is go to the bottom here where it says slope card, right click and view code. Now, this is all the code that I've written. This is everything that works. If you don't understand Visual Basic code, get somebody that does to look at it, or scan it with Norton. But I've actually annotized it so you know everything. I've actually told you what it does, that section. As an example, if you don't select anything in the drop-down list, all this section does is it tells it to do nothing. The slope card on the left-hand side of the screen disappears. But I've actually said exactly what each section of the code does. So this applies the borders and fills, it loops through all the rows so that each section of the slope card actually gets a line. It's really simple. This stuff down here, this just makes sure that only the slope card actually prints, not the whole sheet. And you can this bit up here, by the way, where it's, if you look up here, it says this, that's on the slope card. But if you look where it says this workbook, there's more code there. All that does is when you close the Excel spreadsheet, regardless of what you've done, it reverts it back to what it should be. Because some people like to mess about. It won't delete any extra maps or add in old maps you've deleted. But what it'll do is it'll put it all back to how it should be. So once again, if you don't understand code, you don't even need to look at it. So what I would suggest you do is, once again, just keep everything hidden, because it just keeps things simple. It's as simple as that, really. So now the last thing I'd say is, the only reason I made this is because I'm too mean to keep going out and buying these when I lose them. So now I can have an virtually unlimited supply of slope cards. And they're the price of one piece of paper, assuming that you've got a computer and a printer. I am a navigation instructor. I'm not a code writer. I mean, I do write it. It's because I find, writing code is not difficult once you understand the basics. But I will guarantee that every 15-year-old child in the entire world can write better code than I can. So if you find some way that my very amateurish Visual Basic code can be improved, let me know in the comments section. So that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and you can now print off as many of these as you want for the rest of your life. And don't forget, you can always add in and you know, takeaway maps, so that this will work. Hopefully, this system will work on any map anywhere in the world, providing that it's got contour lines on it somewhere. So anyway, thanks for watching.